with. This goes for everybody new who's coming in. And that would, I would question the grandmother thing. We want to talk about that. But so when, and this is what we kind of put together, but we want to hear from you, a protocol for new mentoring stewards to host on the connection field. That anybody who comes in as a mentoring steward, so sometimes people come in through the Global Heart Resonance call, or they just, right now they're going to start coming in as mentoring stewards. So what we came up with was that they needed to experience 2 of the Monday calls and participate in at least 2 of the Wednesday coherence calls. So that's really only a week. They could do that in 1 week, basically. And question, a mentoring steward, sorry, hold on one sec.
It sounds like 2 weeks.
A mentoring session with one of us. No, it isn't. It's Monday to Monday. So, and then Wednesday. So it's Monday to Monday, which would include, so someone could get on one Monday, then they would be on a Wednesday community call, then they would get on the next Monday, and it would just be, they would finish up on that mentoring stewards call. So that at least they have some deepening into what we're describing. Why is this unique, rather than coming in with their own idea.
It would be it'd be a Monday to the following Wednesday.
So a week and 2 days.
Yeah, week and a half. Okay.
Whatever. And then when they're ready and they feel like they want to come into the connection, if they want to come into that, take a space, then they would have a session with one of us, and they could either, if they feel comfortable enough, they can do a practice session that could be actually in combination, or they could come in and they would co-host with one of us or someone we feel comfortable. So that's kind of what we came up with. Just would like to hear from everybody else.
I think that's fine. I think they need the experience, and I think probably the best thing would be for them to be on with us at some point. I think, so they kind of, and I don't know, we could maybe even introduce, I don't know if we want to introduce them or we just want them observing. I don't know.
Shelley, we did say that we wanted them to observe 2 other connection field calls, and we didn't get that in here in between that time, remember?
Okay, right. Observe.
I think that's
2 other.
Or participate in, we should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not just observe.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Now, are there people from the CCC or from other things that we know that would be sort of skate through this in a different way? Is that important or no?
I would say not, because they, the people who've come from the CCC are now part of the mentoring stewards, and there are people that we all know that, you would think could do and can obviously host calls, but they don't get resonance.
But I'm gonna challenge us to think of this as a mentoring steward recruitment campaign. That this project is our opportunity to reach out, just like you are with Pam Durand, is to reach out to those that do know resonance, that perhaps are learning and needing mentoring, but that we invite them in and say, this is something of purpose and meaning, and this is a way you can give back. We'd love to have you join us. I think we have to be really intentional about recruiting mentoring stewards and growing the community so we can make this organization sustainable. Membership is just one way to do that. And there's no reason why, when I look at all the conscious community within the Sign, which we'll go into another call, but within the Sign organization, they're all there just to share each other's stuff. They have gifts that they could bring in if we recruit them and invite them and envelop them into the flow. So I say, yes, not right away put them on like CCC, let's go tell them all to come host a call, but to really say, we need you and your skills and your gifts. Please join us.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't like the word recruitment so much, but I feel like, what happened with Julie and I as we were talking yesterday was like all of a sudden I thought of Pamela Durand. She's been involved with All the Love Lives Here. She's been involved with Go to the Hole for a long time. She really is a mentoring. She's sort of a grandmothered in mentoring steward, even though she doesn't come on those calls. But then we thought of Catherine, all of a sudden Julie thought of Catherine Skaggs. And so there are people that you are really connected to that you can go and share and invite them to. In fact, we have to talk about it, but coming up is a public mentoring stewards call. Is it next week?
Next week. That's
So
next
we,
week.
we invite them to join the pipeline.
Yeah. The pipeline.
Come to the pipeline.
Is
the
there,
love pipeline.
The love pipeline, the love line.
is there a list of the current active mentoring stewards? So a mentoring steward is someone who's donating to Good of the Whole every month financially. Are there mentoring stewards who are not doing that?
There's one person that's had trouble with has donated and then stopped the monthly because she donated, and then every once in a while makes a donation and is now making another donation. So there's that. There's others that donate that have never been on a call. The person that doesn't give every month but supports is a really big supporter and literally is constantly supporting and participating. So so there's a couple like that. There's one that can't give, that needs to volunteer and do something. And perhaps that, Shelley, we need to do that before that person hosts her own call, is we need to figure out how she's going to give back.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, can we somehow get a list of these people so that we know we're all on the same page with knowing who's...
Yeah, I can give you the list. I don't know how it would be helpful in us recruiting outside, but that's Karen, Shelley.
Well, it's also it was Wowza too. So I need to actually talk to the both of them because they need to. It's been too much for me to like deal with how to get them. But basically,
and Wowza is not getting the emails at all anymore to come. I took Wowza and Heinz off after that one time. So
all right, I'll call Wowza and just.
I'm sure she'll get on the public call again because she'll get that one. So yeah, there's probably others. I can get you the list. It's
okay. I need to call them. That's
the other thing we need to do is teach you how to get on Nation Builder if we're going to stay there, and then you could see that list. But
let's not do that at this time. Nobody.
We don't need to do that right now.
So we really just want to have a clear line, a clear love line to get on the calls, and part of it is to be a current active mentoring steward, which includes donation, includes participation in those calls, and have done these things. Period. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Everybody groovy with this one?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so next up, the evening special offerings. Julie, do you want to speak to this?
I'm making a list. Go ahead. I've got to get these lists. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I hate it when you...
Sorry, I've got to get this done. You want a list of mentoring stewards? There's a whole list of things coming out.
Okay. So when we originally was starting this, and in order to keep it simple, we spoke to one bandwidth of going across the week at one time, keeping it simple so people didn't have to go trying to figure out what time everybody was doing their thing. And John, this speaks mainly to you because you're the only one who's kind of plunked a time in. And so we're going to ask if there is a willingness to, instead of that we can keep it straight across the band. So originally we had talked about 7 to 8 Eastern time, but realized that you wanted to do it later. And we want to keep it simple for people. So this is really about Good of the Whole. And we want to keep it simple for people and having one, so that everyone knows at 7 o'clock every week or 8 o'clock every week, that's when they can tune in to something. We're going to be offering something. So whether you go 60 minutes or 90 minutes, that doesn't really matter. But we'd like to see, John, would you be willing to shift to like from 8 to 9:30 Eastern, which would be 6 to 7:30 your time, right?
Sure. Yeah, and it'll cut out some people there'll be plenty of other people, so I'm not too worried about it.
So this is what was coming up when we were talking and when I was thinking about it. It's like the people that know you're doing this, they're going to make it happen, and that's going to be your attractive field. And then if they love it, they're going to tell the ones that aren't showing up. And I mean, maybe it's just till we get going.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just, my whole thing was just about the local guys that I've been, that I'm counting on to kickstart this thing, are a number of them are working guys and they're not home and available at that time. But it's okay, not to worry. I got guys around the country. I got guys that are sequestered. So, let's make it easy on good of the whole.
And if anyone else has a different suggestion, I'm open.
No, that's fine. It's not that big a deal.
Well, I would like to hear from the three of you how you feel about it being, if it's important for it to always be at the same time or not. I'm just curious.
Mhm.
Now, these are the special events.
The evening offerings, the special events, yes.
Well,
We were just going to do one a week. I mean, one a day.
one a day.
Well, I'll be doing it every day, but I can do Facebook Live. It won't have anything to do with getting on a Zoom call.
We're going to get to you and the Japamala thing, but
Well, the thing is, what if, let's say we have some more mentoring stewards that come in and we want to create another band, I'll call it a band, or add an hour or 2 hours or more to the 1 hour template program. Do we push the special events farther and farther down? I mean, again, back to which time zone, and John was going to be in that spot because of the mountain time zone for most of the community that he knows. And when we move that up, it's kind of.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to what the advantage is to having just one line going across for the simplicity of it.
you asking me or
Anybody.
yeah, because this isn't about your particular people. It's about a reach of people that it's about the simplicity. So at least in the beginning, this is just my thing, and Julie and I talked about this, is that everyone knows. So what goes out on the digest is from 7, or whatever, 8 to 9:30 Eastern time every night, there will be a special offering. People aren't going to have to go search, where to go or what time, they'll just know. So that, at least in my mind, it makes it for all the new people, it keeps it very simple. But that's just
like Glenn was saying, at some point, it's not going to make any difference because there'll be 2 slots going through every night.
Maybe. We don't
Probably.
know.
I think 7, 6, we're getting into dinner time. We're getting into
That's what I'm
bedtime.
talking about. Yeah.
Well,
And
we'll
so I
always
think-
be there for somebody.
For somebody, it's going to be
It'll always be bedtime or dinner time.
right.
That's true. And it's just, I guess the reason I was thinking was mainly because we talked about having the East Coast calendar. When you start talking about starting a class at 9 o'clock to 10:30, that's really late for
Mhm.
anyone on the East Coast. But again,
And then I'm also remembering that John's is going to be on a separate Zoom number, so it's not going to really impact what we're doing on this particular number either.
No, it's-
So
It'll
no,
all be on the same number, I think,
it's
Glenn.
all going to be on the same number. We can't start making different numbers. People will go crazy.
Right. I agree.
Hey, you know what? Look, let's go with the simplicity because, we do this for a week or 2 weeks and we're going to find out what works.
oh, that's right. That's
Right.
exactly right.
There's nobody in Hawaii that's going to get on my call. I'll guarantee it.
That's right.
But,
No,
No,
but
sir,
wait a
I
minute,
think
wait a minute.
Glenn is going to get on your call because it's going to be lunchtime for him.
Of course. Why you say that?
well, most of the guys I know are working people. Okay, is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
I think that's an important piece, and yet a lot of, like, my brother-in-law out in Denver is still working because the plumbing still needs to happen and the
Right.
excavating still needs to happen, and the repairing the water line for the city is Still,
Right.
so they're still out. So someone like
still
my
out.
brother-in-law,
So-
even though the whole
Right.
city shut down, he's working.
That's
And I
correct.
hear you on that. So, but the focus of this online is really, I think, important, not just for those quarantined, which is nice, and not just self-employed, but it is for those that are working. So I think creating flexibility, if we just start, I don't know that marketing it, that it's same time every night is going to help with simplicity, because I think people are going to look at a schedule, see the thing that they want, and then go, what time is that? Because I want to go to that. So there's the thing of, oh, there's something every night I can just tune in. Well, I'm a woman and I get on John's men's group. So I think it's like the
Yeah.
special events are going to be, oh, what's this? I want to tune in.
I
Not
agree with that.
so.
Also, I talked yesterday with someone on the East Coast. East Coast people are different when it comes to timing. 9 o'clock at night is early for them. You know, their night news doesn't come on until 10 or
I
excuse
know.
me, 11.
It's crazy. When I go there, they eat at 8 or 9 o'clock.
They either 8 or 9 at night, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm flexible. You know what? I feel confident that we offer these things at the time slot that you guys want, and we'll get the people in, and then we'll see if they if guys that I know say, well, we just can't make it, we'd really like to be part of it, then maybe then we shift the time, whatever. I don't care. It'll work.
Okay, so let's just take a breath, and we can shift this back to what time you want, John. So what's the consensus here in terms of, it feels like it's kind of different places. So
Yeah.
just in the beginning, what do we want? Because I'm totally willing to let go.
I was kind of thinking that band that goes across, you're talking about the band being like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at such and such a time, right? Was really open there for people to fill in down to when they get to John's time slots, But I don't guess it doesn't really matter. We just start where we are and we'll correct as and improve as we go.
Whatever works
I
for you.
hope that band goes to 10 p.m. connection field. Like,
That's the other thing, right?
I hope that the connection field takes that whole calendar and we're getting a separate Zoom for special events. That's what I'm hoping. So,
Well, we can have John. You have a. Well, okay, never mind. We can just
Okay, can we just,
start where we are.
okay, let's stop.
so what
And
is
let's
the consensus?
You
I
want to
don't
keep it
hear
at
a
8?
consensus.
This is Shelley's sign. You have to keep it. Okay.
No, I'm not attached.
I'm not attached. Whatever you want, I'll fit it in. You make the decision, Shelley. You're the one that needs this.
Maybe it would help if we looked at the schedule briefly.
No, we don't. Like, let's just keep going. We have a lot.
Yeah, I got a lot to do. Okay.
Julie, do you have a feeling about it?
I don't, because I'm sitting here like this. Let's just go on and maybe it'll be clear. Because
Okay.
they've all given us carte blanche to fix it wherever we want it. So let's feel into it and let's get through the rest of this today.
Okay. So Linda, I'm going to hold off the Japamala right now. Just hang in there, and let's just make sure that we get the stuff that needs to get to the mentoring stewards clear. So, so basically, we know that we have.
I was gonna say, you had that question about the video showing just above.
Okay, just basically, right now we were talking about showing the video numerous times during the day, if possible.
At the
But
top
right
of the
now-
hour, every hour.
But we can't right now until we get the sound quality better, because when you remember when Julie showed it, the sound was not all that great. It's
Was that
squeaky.
maybe that was? Did you link to the YouTube video, Julie, and play it that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
so there's got to be another way to do it, and we did it again for the for sign, and it was the same way. So right now that's just a note to myself to try and get a hold of John or Google and see if we can figure out how to make, because they do videos all the time and they're really, really clear. So I'm going to find out about that. So I will do that. And
But if we get that figured, we will do it at the top of the hour, every hour, if we get the sound done. Or not.
Then I'd say even if it's not perfect. That we would still start with that and clean it up as we go.
Oh my God, I don't know. This is my, I don't know. Julie, what do you think about that?
I mean, we need something to do that intro piece that invites people to go to the whole. And if we
That's
look
the
at
host.
video,
That's
we-
the host speaking.
no, what the video explains that though.
I think the video is beautiful, and it always will really create that. What was it? What was Marion say? Heart stirring experience with good quality music. So Shelley's going to talk to John. I think whether we can fix it or not, I think we do need to use it. So we need to figure out what is the very best way to use it. What do we need to do? So we're not going to know until we find out from John.
Okay,
So-
and also, then we have to teach the hosts how to go onto YouTube and connect the YouTube, and that can be really messy looking. I mean, you saw what you did, Julie. The idea is to get it set up so that it just plays, and of course, it doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning, but that could be a real happening with our
Okay.
hosts.
Is that a screen sharing thing that we could do? That each host could just hit a screen sharing and have it
Yeah.
somehow? The
Yeah.
video.
The thing is, you have it up as close to full screen as possible at the time behind this. Because like right now, if I go to screen share, I have to go find it. So you have it up. Then you have your Zoom full screen. So then you go and reduce your full screen and you get it and you click on full screen. So
We'd have to practice that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to bypass this for a minute. So basically, the docs to be sent to the mentoring steward, right? And I don't know whether they all go at once, Julie, or we need to send the connect. Do we wait to send them once they're signed up? Then we send them the connection field template. Are we sending them that application? Do we need to give them a personal invite script, how to invite? Like John, you did it really easily, but some people wouldn't be able to do that. Do we need to give them a quick little script? And obviously the calendar. And we told them, like Julie said, to give us their first and second. I think we don't need third, but first and second choices for times for the connection field. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Anyway, that's up for conversation.
I think we could send all of that to everybody, because if they're wondering if they can do it, if we send that template, they might go, you know what, I can do this. So I think we need to send all of that to everybody.
Okay, can we send it in the digest tomorrow? Would it go out with the digest? Because that would be the simplest way.
No, I think it needs to go to the mentoring stewards and not everybody.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Got it. Okay.
So it's a follow-up email from our call Wednesday.
Okay. And that will go out tomorrow?
Yeah. Today, tonight, tomorrow.
It should, okay.
I need a clean copy of those things to do it.
Okay. All right. So that's me. I'll get that all to you.
John or Glenn, can you guys work on a little personal invitation script?
I could work on that. What would that entail?
Just how to encourage mentoring stewards to invite people onto their call to support them. Just a little blurb that teaches them, you know what, just put it out to your people. Hey, I'm doing this, hosting this. I'd love your support. Can you come on my hour? Help me out.
John, I'd be happy to help you with that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, good. John and Linda. Awesome. Now, do we send something out on Friday with that, with the digest that invites people to apply to become, or how do we invite that community to ask for an application? So then that they know that there's a pipeline. How do we introduce them to the love line?
We will invite
Potentially be part
them.
of this.
We'll invite everyone to get involved and become a mentoring steward so they can help support this. So we'll say the mentoring stewards are moving into these activities, boom, 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 with the connection field, with evening events, special events. If you're interested, come become a mentoring steward. I think this has to be our mantra right now, is we're really inviting people to become mentoring stewards and getting involved and activating their own gifts in service of this. So
Sounds great to me. And then maybe even on our website, when in the mentoring stewards tab, someplace this could be laid out.
I think on the front page,
their invitation.
I think it's going to be a front page thing. We're going to invite everybody on the front page to get involved right now. Which is another thing I have to do.
You're saying that these are documents to be sent and emails to be sent to the mentoring stewards. And yet we're inviting everyone to become a mentoring steward. Aren't they already mentoring stewards?
No, Glenn said our weekly digest. Our weekly digest goes to everyone in the community.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's like, come join us in our emergent response.
Okay. Are we all good on this? We're clear? Everybody clear here? Okay.
I'll wait for the documents to come in. It'll be clear.
Okay. Okay. So these are these are things that people brought up on the mentoring steward call. And if you have any other things that need to be added to this list, so basically these are things that will go on to the documents. The host, that they can use the default mute for participants when they're joining the call. So that's something that I do every single call.
Actually, that's set in our settings, so nobody has to. We're the only ones that can change those settings.
Okay, hold on. That is. Wait, is that's already on?
Yeah.
Was I muted when I came on this?
Yeah, if you're not, I can double check this, or Julie can double check the settings. But I think we have a master setting that mutes everybody.
Okay.
Join.
Cool. Okay.
The host
I've
doesn't
never
have to deal
used
with
that, so I just need to find that, right? It's on the.
No, you don't need to. It'll be set in our.
Oh, I see. And then all participants will unmute themselves when they want to talk.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Great.
I do think you can remute them as a host.
Yeah.
You can remute them.
Right. But keeping it simple, that's great. I don't know why I don't do that. I have to think about that. Handing off the hosting, which is something that we talked about. And then the background lighting. I mean, this just needs to be on one of those documents.
Can I say something about handing off the hosting?
Yeah.
Okay. There's going to be a really small window here. You know how the calls go to, let's say, between 9 and 10. At 10 o'clock, so we really need to start having the next host come on 5 or 10 minutes early, and then do we hand it off to them before the video or after? Probably before.
It's in the template, John.
It's already
It's a 58.
We did it in the template. You were part of that. So there is a 5-minute window where that person would get on and just allow the person to finish and hand it over. And then that next person would start their call. And if we are all agreeing to have the video on there, they would run the video. They would start their call. So it's just a 5-minute window that's needed.
Okay.
But they would be on allowing that last person to finish their call.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the new host of the new hour starts the video.
Yeah, and then the old host would just introduce them and pass it over.
And leave the meeting. If they choose, or they can hang around too.
Or hang around.
Or hang around, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I mean, these are just basic things. Co-hosting, inviting friends to participate on your call. John's gonna work on that. And then Julie and I were realizing we wanted to have something in there about how to use not to use the chat unless it's somebody asking. We don't want people, doing this whole thing during the connection field, the same way on the resonance call. So basically, unless it's something, so there needs to be just a notation about that and the host letting people know that at this time we're asking people to stay off the chat unless it's whatever emergency or something. People, I don't know. It has to be.
Yeah, up in the settings, we can disable chat, period, if we choose to. I had sort of thought that we had talked, yeah, we can disable chat as a functionality of the line. But I had thought that we had talked at one time about encouraging people to privately chat with each other if they want to connect outside of this call. So that they might team up in some way or
I
might
think
have.
we're just asking for trouble, because what will start happening is people will be marketing themselves. Hey, I'm a coach. Hey, contact me. And what ends up happening is it happens. I mean, we're on the sign calls and it's just like crazy, what people are putting on
Happened
there.
today too, and the host of the meeting was literally telling everybody to watch the chat for additional information to support the talker, the speaker. So the speaker's teaching and presenting, and the host is telling them to watch their chat. And then this bing, 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 and everybody's reading their
Yes.
chat. So no, I don't think it would be good, but we are going to encourage them to connect. So perhaps we could muse on what would be a good format to do that.
I mean, I personally liked it, the idea of disabling it, because this is a connection field. We don't need people doing that whole thing.
Reconnecting. Yeah.
I mean, it's because we want them to connect through the connection field. We want them to get to know each other through coming on and feeling. And I mean, it's worked pretty well on the Monday morning call, but truthfully, I mean, people come on, like, I love Kate, but she's texting websites and you got to check this out, or, like, do we really want that? Or just
So we can certainly experiment with it either, different ways, because I mean, we could start off with no chat if you want.
You know what? I'm going to encourage everybody that perhaps, what if we encourage people, if there's someone you're connected with, to come to a Facebook group, come to the website, to the resident lounge, come to,
Yeah.
let's create the place where they could come off of the connection field. That's what I'm thinking.
I love
Try
that.
the resident lounge. And hey, Shelly, when you get a minute, let's share the website and let's warm up the resident lounge with a conversation with the 5 of us. Let's go to the resident lounge and just start talking and chatting and sharing on there.
So you guys,
Is that on Facebook? I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, it's
No,
not.
we just put it back. We just put it back on. So come to the Resident Lounge or Facebook group. Okay. So
is it good of the whole residence lounge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Julie, I have to go because I have a 2-hour call that I'm facilitating. So you guys can decide. We're pretty much, clear to.
If you're through it, you need your computer, so you have to take this down. So we could just be clear for now, and if we have to connect again in the next day or 2, we will. But you'll get that to all of us. You get that to me. I'll send out the email to the mentoring stewards.
Yeah, and we can email each other, and if we need to get on over the weekend or whatever, we can. So basically, we're going forward with starting it Monday morning. And I already talked to Grace, Julie, and she knows that we want to have a conversation with them. So with Grace specifically, but we don't need to do it right now. And that's what I told her, that we just want, and she's open for that. So forgive me, I do really need to go.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. Thank you, Shelley, for all that you did and all you're doing.
Great work.
So great work. And
I'm excited. I'm happy.
Let's have fun with this. Let's have fun with this whole package and just bring our joy and love to the whole.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful insights and wisdom and love.
And I'm available anytime if you guys, whenever you guys want to meet. I got nothing else.